Sandra Bullock is now getting dragged into the Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds drama. And Candace Owens has a theory that I'm going to challenge. Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signore. What a live. Thank you for everybody who stuck with and watched the whole 2 hours. If you want to watch our full lives, you can always become a member over on Patreon to catch our replays. But I wanted to recap this show, which was a while when we actually had some calls come in because I ruffled some feathers today. A lot of you love Candace Owens. And look, I'm not trying to hate on Candace Owens. I like some of her takes. I don't like other takes, but I have to agree to disagree on some of them. But I'm frustrated on some information that you guys are sharing me, that she's putting out there, that I personally don't believe. And I want to explain why. Before we get there, though, let's start with this first story because they also brought up Sandra Bullock. Sandra Bullock's been dragged into this whole thing. And I think it's important to mention this. The reason Sandra Bullock's getting pulled in is because a tweet from Ryan Reynolds. Sorry, we're scrolling. There it is. Happy birthday to the intimidable and stunning Sandra Bullock. For your birthday this year, I got us both intimacy coordinators and an HR department and clothing, and shared the scene of them falling on each other without any, things on. Look, The Proposal. I like that movie. It was funny. This was back in a time where I don't even think they had intimacy coordinators, to be fair. And both Sandra and Ryan seem to be like adults. There's rumors that there was a fling, etc. But whatever, they're adults. They can do whatever they want. And they seemingly got along, had fun. It was a funny scene. Not going to knock it. But the problem with this tweet is he tweeted it in July 2023, right after wrapping the initial shoots of It Ends With Us. Not even the reshoots, the actual shoots, right? So this is problematic from the standpoint of, why are you making a joke about such a serious thing when your wife allegedly just dealt with the fact that he didn't have one and he was inappropriate and he was SHing her? Because again, you don't forget the timeline. Once they had those first week or so of filming where all the bad things happened, she admits in her own complaint, Blake Lively does, that everything was fine when they came back. All the deals were followed. Everything was good. The movie was finished. So he chose to make a joke about intimacy coordinators, kind of shove it in Justin's face while they're legitimately facing such a serious issue. This, coupled with the nice pool things in Deadpool, coupled with the weird junket video that he did with Brandon Scalar, whatever his name is, and Hugh Jackman and his mom. There's just a lot of stuff here. It's like, why are you making a mockery of such a serious allegation that your wife had? Look, I'm not some snowflake who can't handle jokes that are inappropriate. I just find this incredibly bad timing. It doesn't make your allegations seem as serious, is what my issue is. So this is a really bad look. Yet another one coming in from Ryan Reynolds. So I wanted to spotlight that because now even Sandra getting dragged. There's reports that they may ask for her conversations. I don't know. But again, yet another big A-lister mentioned in this drama. Everything's getting uncovered as we go forward. Now, story 2, I want to talk about this story. Now, again, I want to reiterate, I'm not trying to attack Candace Owens. She can handle herself. She's a very popular, successful woman. I don't always agree with her, and I'm sure everyone doesn't always agree with me, but I take umbrage with this because I don't like it. Let me play it. Let me play it and explain, because a lot of you keep sending me this, and please stop sending me this because I don't agree with it. Here's why.
Somebody said to me, and this feels very true to me, they leaked to me that one of the ways, so if you're Ryan Reynolds and you're high, I'm not saying on meth, but you're just like high on your own supply.
Not on meth. I hope not, because that'd be extremely defamatory, but okay.
And you try to buy it and you say, no, there's no cost too high. bet you there's a cost too high, buddy. You got a lawsuit of $400 million right now. I'm thinking there might've been a cost too high for this movie and you're about to pay it, Mr. Tough Guy, Mr. Deadpool. And
there's a whole rumor she's putting out that Deadpool, that Ryan tried to buy it for $5 million. I also don't believe this theory. The movie is actually worth more than that. Why would Justin sell it for $5 million? The movie made like $200 million. Sequel's going to be valuable too, in a way. So I don't think the offer was real, and I don't understand why he'd want to buy it without Justin, and then it's all this drama. I don't know, but that's a theory. That's not where I take umbrage. Let's continue.
Justin says no, and you're like, who is this guy? I'm worth $200-300 million. Who is this guy?
But Ryan Reynolds is worth like $1 billion with all his agents, with aviation, Mint Mobile. He's worth more than that. He's worth a lot of money.
I'll get rid of him one way or the other. Well, somebody told me that when Colleen sold her book rights, there was and this makes sense, morality clause. Now, if you're not aware of what a morality clause is, I've had them in my contracts. It means essentially we're paying you enough money and you can have this. Obviously, it's a normal sale. But if you do something that harms the brand, we have a right to dismiss you.
Now, this is where I'm going to
Doesn't matter if you bought it, okay?
Now, if you buy it, you bought it. You bought it. So right out the gate, this idea that Colleen Hoover, who got to remember at the time this morality clause may have happened, would have been an independent author. She was not as big of a deal. This was a smaller deal, Wayfair, bigger company at the time. It had some successful movies. Colleen Hoover in her own emails admits, like, I didn't have much experience, yada, yada, yada. I made an independent film and something else. She clearly didn't have the cachet to put in such a dangerous clause into this agreement. So I find it incredibly hard to believe that, one, they would have allowed it. Now, I hear why everybody thinks this is the smoking gun that makes sense, because it would make sense. I'm not saying I didn't humor this theory of a morality clause. My problem with what Candace is putting out there, seemingly so factual from what she heard from a friend, is why wouldn't Justin be using this? This is absolutely the answer that makes sense to everybody as to a motive, as to what was really going on. Ryan was trying to buy the movie. We refused. Blake Lively then realized there was a morality clause that they could exploit. And they went to Colleen Hoover and she buttoned up to Colleen and even said in junkets, oh man, I'll follow her if she gets the rights anywhere she wants. All of this is very provable and like, well, yeah, this makes sense. Wow. It's the absolute motive I feel like a lot of us have been waiting for as to why would Blake have done all this? Oh man, not only was she taking over the edit and everything else, she was trying to use these allegations to play the clause to then get the rights. It's like a mind-blowing thing. And I get why so many people are like, Candace cracked the code. This is, but hear it for a second. It's too perfect, because if it was real, why wouldn't Justin have plastered that all over his lawsuit? Now, the other reason I say all this is because, yes, we've reached out and had emails with both sides, to be fair. We've emailed Blake's team, we've emailed Justin's team, and yeah, we've gotten responses and we've gotten intel from them as sort of press releases, if you will, or responses to things that TMZ and other outlets do because we're press. I wrote back and asked, is this legit? None of them, they all said no. They wouldn't confirm this, deny it, like no. And I just find it incredibly weird that they would not own this. Now, a lot of my chat was like, oh, but Andy, maybe they're saving it. Saving it for what? Justin's like losing everything. His life is literally on the line. This thing could get settled at some point, and maybe we don't even get to see this part of it. So to not see this theory, actually to see the contract and to not use this as the silver bullet that, let's call it would be if it was real, to me makes no sense. It makes no sense. And I also don't believe that some random morality clause just gives him the rights to the second book. It doesn't work that way. That would be such a more complicated thing. Now, yes, morality clauses exist, and I believe Candace signed one, and I believe others. Roseanne lost her show because she was on Disney. Yeah, these are real things, of course. If you're working for a brand as a talent or something, they got to protect themselves and make sure you're not out there giving certain salutes and things that go against said brand, of course. But when you make a sale of a book transaction and you're an independent author like Colleen was at the time, it doesn't add up. It's not adding up. Sources aren't verifying it. Nothing's adding up. This is not as factual as everyone says. So look, not to say everything she's saying is false, but this frustrates me because she's run on this theory. She's now leveling up. Just Ryan was jealous, and that's why he was trying to destroy her. I personally don't buy any of it. So look, no disrespect to Candace. I'd love to debate her on this. Happily would debate her on this. But my problem is a lot of this to me is just fan fiction, is what it really is. And I think she's peddling a lot of this stuff to a lot of viewers. She's getting a lot of people tuning into her on all the things, and congrats, like, you go get your bag. But I'm frustrated because we're trying to report this story with as much facts and integrity as we can. And I'm just getting frustrated because I'm getting sent by so many people. Did you see this? This is real. Literally, as we were talking about during the live, she's right. There is a morality clause. You need to be better than this, was from Alice. And I tried to get Alice to call in to say it to my face because, I'm sorry, Alice, did you talk to any of the sides involved? Did you get their actual intel? Or are you just telling me this because you're a Candace fan? I don't know where this came from, but this is what's scary. Now, people are out there saying it's factual. and they're all over spreading the information. And that's where this stuff can get really dangerous, in my opinion. And we got to just try to be on top of it. Look, of course, share theories, have fun, do what you want. Again, Candace will do what she wants, but please stop sending it to me like it's factual. Please, just because you hear a theory, try to vet it out with other sources. Let's all be better than that. We try to be here. We make it very clear to you when it's speculation, etc. But the way she pitched it felt very, very factual. And her whole theme about, and a lot of you, I don't even want to just spotlight her. So many of you are coming at me. Ryan Reynolds is jealous. Clearly, Blake was trying to have the hots for him, and yada yada for Justin. And I did this impression. Here's what I take to a caller. I want to do it again. Here's my impression of Justin Baldoni. With all respect, Justin, with all respect, I've spoken to several people who verified my initial sort of assumption of what Justin is. Here's my assumption of how Justin would act to Blake Lively. Blake, oh my gosh, it is such an honor to have you on this film. I feel your soul. And when I feel a soul, my soul just stretches out and wants to hug that soul. And I'm just so grateful that we can hug souls on this universe in front of so many people. And that's going to change so many souls. I'm getting emotional just thinking about it. In fact, I was talking to my wife last night when we were together, staring at each other, holding each other's souls. And I was like, how lucky are we that Blake, you are part of this, and that you're going to be embracing your soul into our souls, and that all of our souls are going to change souls. It's heavy stuff, man. Now, that's my impression of Justin. It could be kind of annoying. It could be kind of intense. And I just don't sense that's the type of guy that Blake Lively would have the hots for. To me, Blake Lively sees that soul guy and immediately says, I found a mark. I'm going to take over this guy's movie. I'm going to finally be able to direct a movie. This guy is a complete pushover. I can do whatever I want. I don't think she's saying, oh my God, yeah, I love him and his soul. Blake Lively doesn't have time for that. Blake Lively's all like sarcastic and harsh and mean and aggressive. And I just don't think she saw this puppy dog, as hot as he is, ladies. I don't think she saw this puppy dog Justin, lovey-dovey Mr. Holding Space Justin Baldoni, as her type. Blake Lively, now granted, no disrespect, Justin's a hot dude. People clearly are feeling it, but I just don't see that happening. I don't see it happening. She was attracted and married Ryan, who's equally aggressive and mean-spirited. Justin's the complete opposite. So look, that's my theory. I'm not subscribing to this theory. No disrespect to anybody who's buying it, but I do think we got to be careful. It is a theory. It's an opinion. It is not proven at all. And part of me is like, why are we focusing on whether Ryan's jealous? Is that really part of the story? I mean, sure, it's a part of it, but I'm really trying to focus more on like who's telling the truth. Who's telling the truth? Is Blake Lively lying about SH allegations? Because to me, that's the headline. If she is, then it is an Amber Heard situation, and there needs to be accountability. She tried to ruin this man's life. Whether Ryan Reynolds was jealous or not, or insecure, who's not insecure? Sure, it's a part of the story. I know you're all fascinated by it, but my gosh, can we try to keep focused on the facts and not just get lost in the salacious soap opera of it? Granted, we hammer it from time to time, but please, with all due respect, you don't need to send me those stories anymore, okay? Just don't. That's my take. If you want to disagree, more power to you, for real. At the end of the day, we're going to try our best to focus on the facts. Yeah, of course, we'll speculate and talk about some of the flirtation and things from time to time. It's going to happen, but it's not going to be the big theory we're going to try to float out there to get everyone on board, because I want a little bit more facts, and I think the facts, the fact that he's joking about this issue weeks after it happened is incredibly telling. Now, does that mean they had the hots and he's jealous? So that's why? No, to me, this reads as a F you to Justin. Like, we got you, buddy. Yeah. Oh yeah, we're going to get you. Ryan unfollows him. Ryan does this. Ryan does a whole junket interview, just sort of pressing Justin. This, I don't see it as jealousy. I see it as meanness, like bullying. We are better than you. you're not going to win this. That's how I see it all. This flirtation, I don't know. If you disagree, I want to hear your theories down below. Let me know what you think. What do you think about Sandra Bullock being dragged in? What do you think of Candace's theory? You think I'm off base? What do you think of my Justin impression? I want to hear all your theories down below. Whether you're watching live or on the replay, make sure you're hitting that subscribe button, hit the bell for all alerts, smash that thumbs up, and let me know what you think in the comments down below. If you want to watch the full live show, it was like over 2.5 hours, 2 hours and 40 minutes. My goodness. We will have the full live show available for you on our Patreon. Support Patreon. You're going to see the little button at the end. Click it because that is where we're going to be putting our own Blake Lively documentary. That's right. We're working on it. A lot is coming. Support us over on Patreon because that's where we're going to be doing more investigative work. We have our live uncensored show every week where we do speculate very clearly, and it's behind the paywall. So it's very clearly us just chatting amongst friends, not putting it out as news or from sources. So join us over there. Thank you to everybody who's watching. Again, we can all disagree from time to time. Of course, let's at least be respectful about it. And let's just try to be careful at spreading out information as if it's factual. Everybody, we can be better on that. We're now becoming the mainstream media. People are listening to us. We do have a service to at least make sure we're being clear and vet your sources the best you can, because I think it's important. It's a serious issue that I want to make sure we get to the truth of. So let me know what you guys think. Appreciate all you guys who've been watching. Stay tuned for more. Thanks to all the people on the live.